this kind of data in a fraction of the time that we were before, so I think a lot of the records that we have in the current day universe, those are going to be broken really soon. Any doubt about how significant these new images are? I wish you could be in this room because around me are the scientists, the astrophysicists, the cosmologists who really understand how they've changed our view of the universe. They just found out something very strange about the universe. Strange things were seen in new shots from the James Webb telescope. This proves that there were strange things around before the Big Bang. Well-known scientists from all over the world are now warning that these finds could make us question what we think we know about the universe. Einstein said that the world is like a bubble and we live on the outside of it. Well, Einstein says the universe is a bubble, we live on the skin of the bubble and the bubble's expanding. That's called the Big Bang theory. String theory says there are other bubbles out there, there's a bubble bath of universes. Big bangs are happening even as we speak, so we have this bubble bath of universes. So there was something before the Big Bang. The bubble is growing though. The Big Bang theory is the name for that, as string theory says there are more bubbles out there like a bath full of bubbles. There are a lot of worlds because Big Bangs are happening all the time. That means there was something there before the Big Bang. Your model isn't like the Big Bang where something comes into being out of nothing and then goes back to being nothing, right? No. Okay, so how do you think about that to begin with? It's a Big Bang type. To put it another way, the Big Bang was not the start as we know it. The universe changed after the Big Bang. We know how the first stars, galaxies, and black holes formed, but there is still a big question. What was there before the Big Bang? Scientists are shocked that they think they have now found the answer. The Webb telescope's results show that there may have been something strange in the universe before that event. These results point to holes in our current models of the universe. What did we find, and why did it surprise scientists all over the world? In the 1920s, when scientists looked at galaxies far away for the first time, they found something surprising. The galaxies were seen to be moving away from us. At first, this made some people think that Earth might be in the middle of the universe. Still, more studies showed that some galaxies, like the Andromeda Galaxy, are moving toward us even though most are moving away. At the time, this didn't make sense. Astronomers finally figured out that space is growing, not the galaxies themselves. After decades of careful tests and observations, this growth isn't as easy as it looks, but it doesn't have a center either. This means that no matter where you are in the universe, everything is going away from you. It's as if every point is the universe's center. Because of this finding, we now know that the universe doesn't have a fixed center. Everything is expanding, which means that everything is moving away from everything else. Scientists have also seen that space is not only getting bigger but it is also speeding up. This means that galaxies that are farther away are moving away from us faster. New studies show that 97% of galaxies in the universe that can be seen are moving away from us faster than light. One of the most basic rules of physics says that nothing can move faster than light, so how is this possible? To find the answer, you need to understand Einstein's theory of special relativity. Light is thought to be the fastest thing that can move through space. As I already said though, galaxies far away aren't going away from us through space. Instead, there is more room between us and them because space is expanding. The distance between us and these galaxies is getting bigger faster than light can move. That is, it's not the galaxies that are moving faster but space itself. So they're not going faster than the speed of light. The growth of the universe is just pushing them along. Scientists think that the Big Bang may have been the start of this expansion of the world. We didn't have space, time, or matter before the Big Bang. The Big Bang is the start of time and space as well as the birth of our world. There was an explosion that made the universe, which grew from a small hot point into the huge space we see today full of stars and galaxies. This is what we usually mean when we talk about the Big Bang. Now, our standard model of the universe says that about 14 billion years ago, the singularity would have been the size of Texas. It would have contained the whole universe that we can see and everything beyond it that we can't see. This singularity is not a single point in space as you might think for sure. That's true if the world has an end, but if the world is endless, which it seems to be, then it has always been endless. In other words, the Big Bang happened everywhere in space, not just one spot. What this means is that the first galaxies didn't form in just one spot in space. They formed all over the universe, even in places we can't see. Things seem to have become matter everywhere in the universe at the same time. While the Big Bang does explain some things, it does not explain why the universe is flat and spread out and why it looks the same from every direction. If you look through a camera in different directions, it will still look pretty much the same. This is where the thought of inflation comes in. There is evidence that the world grew very quickly right before the Big Bang. This is called inflation. It went from being very small to much bigger in less than a trillionth of a second. There was a strange kind of energy in empty space that caused this increasing growth. That being said, this empty area wasn't really empty, it was instead full of a unique energy that pushed space to grow at an amazing rate. A lot of people think that the world is expanding into a container that was already there. Before the universe grew so quickly, it was very cold and almost empty. Nothing was there, not even particles or stars. It was just a cold, dark, empty space. This space wasn't really empty though because it had this energy that made the universe bigger. Any bumps or rough spots in space were smoothed out during this expansion. This is why, when we look at the universe on a big scale today, it looks flat and even. All the energy that had been stored in space was released when the inflation stopped. The sudden release of energy heated everything up and set off what we now call the Big Bang. This was an extremely hot and dense explosion that filled the universe with particles, light, and all the things that galaxies, stars, and planets would need to finally form. It tells us that before the Big Bang, the universe was a cold, empty space that quickly stretched out because of this strange energy. This thought of inflation also explains why the universe looks the way it does. Everything that came after this stretch was built on top of it. But while inflation gives us answers to some big questions, it also brings up new ones. For instance, why did this inflation start and stop, and what was this strange energy that made it go? But we're talking about the whole universe here, and there's nothing outside of it that could have made it happen. Many more questions have been raised by what the James Webb telescope has found. These new findings show that strange things existed for the Big Bang. It was a surprise to find out that the world is expanding at different rates in different directions. With the James Webb Space Telescope, scientists used to think that the growth of the universe was smooth, so this is a big deal. The idea that the universe grew quickly before the Big Bang because of vacuum energy is supported by the theory of cosmic inflation. This theory also says that the expansion should be the same everywhere. These new results from the Webb telescope, on the other hand, make us question what we thought we knew about inflation and make us wonder why the universe is growing in different ways in different places. Is this uneven growth caused by something other than dark energy? Dark energy is thought to be speeding up the growth of the universe, but new information from the Webb telescope suggests that there may be more to it than we think. It's possible that an unknown force is changing the way space grows in different directions. In addition, researchers using the Webb telescope have seen thousands of strange red dots in the deep field pictures it took. At first, they thought these might be galaxies far away, but they have strange features that don't fit what we know about early galaxies from our models. These objects act in ways that are hard for us to understand, which suggests that there may have been other types of objects in the early universe that we don't know about yet. They are important because they show that there was something there before the Big Bang and that something very strange may have happened before the world we know today began. In this picture, there are a lot of explosions hidden everywhere. Why did you choose to look at that one? We saw this object in the very first data we got almost 2 years ago. What surprised me most was how bright it is. At first, we thought it couldn't be that far away because it was too bright. We got better data, and spectroscopy was one of the things we got. Our eyes made it clear that this yellow blob is the farthest galaxy we have ever seen. Nobel Prize-winning scientists and other experts now say that we may be missing an important piece in what we think we know about the world. What happened before the Big Bang isn't fully explained by the standard model of cosmology. It only talks about how the world changed after the Big Bang. New observations from the Webb telescope suggest that there may be more to the story. These observations point to something that may have happened in the cold, empty space before the universe expanded. The standard theory of inflation says that the Big Bang was caused by a burst of fast expansion fueled by vacuum energy. These new findings call that theory into question. There are signs that the universe is growing at different rates in different directions. If this smooth, uniform inflation really did shape the universe, then why are we now seeing these signs? It makes us think that there may have been something more complicated going on before the Big Bang that changed the world in ways we're just now starting to understand. Besides these strange expansion patterns, the Webb telescope has also found strange things in the early universe that don't fit into the models we already have. These results suggest that the early universe may have had more types of matter and mysteries than we thought. All of this evidence suggests that the Big Bang might not have been the beginning but rather the start of something else that we still don't fully understand. Scientists are becoming more and more open to the idea that our current theories might need big changes as they continue to study these results. If there was a time before the Big Bang when the universe was shaped by different forces or conditions, it could completely change how we think about cosmology. Thanks for watching.